अथवा बहुनेतेन किं ज्ञातेन तवर्जुन विष्टभ्यहमिदं कृत्स्नम् एकांशेन स्थितो जगत्. Hello friends, this is the 42nd shlok of the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and today we will understand this shlok in detail. So let's first go over its meaning. So the shlok says, Athva bahunetena, which means, and there are many others for whom Kim gyatena tavarjuna, which means, what will happen by your knowing, O Arjun? Vishtabhyaham idam kritsnam, which means by entering into all over here, ekanshena sthito jagat, which means by a fraction of me, I establish the world. So, Shri Krishna over here is concluding the 10th chapter, and he is telling Arjuna over here to just understand that by entering only a fraction of himself here in everything, he has established the world. So, this is a core idea of Hinduism, and as a Hindu, you must live by it. So, the idea basically is that everything in this creation has a fraction of divinity present within it, which sustains it, and therefore, this entire creation is divine, and nothing in it is such which is not divine. So, this is the reason why Hindus worship all living beings, all plants and trees, mountains, rivers, or any other entity that reminds them of the Supreme Lord. So, other traditions they basically have criticized Hinduism for this very fact that Hindus worship rivers, trees, mountains, and everything. That is because they are too focused on one God, and they basically say that, oh, there is just one God and we'll just bow down to him. They are not able to understand this very idea that the divinity is actually present in everything over here. So, for them, the Lord is somewhere out there who is divine, and this world is not really divine. This world is devoid of any divinity. So, because of this, they are not able to see the divinity in everything over here. They basically are focused on some separate dimension where the Lord is located, and they basically are just focused on that. So, they are not really focused on this world. They don't really put much focus or divinity or importance to this world. So, when a society starts believing in such an idea, then such a society cannot really think of the welfare of this world itself. Their focus mostly is on some separate world where they go to after death. So, such a society will then, what happens is that will either exploit this universe or this world if they are in power, or they will basically just reject this world and consider this to be a pathetic place if they are not in power. And we have seen this play out many times in the history itself, wherein societies have either exploited this world if they are in power, or they have basically just rejected this world when they became powerless. So this is not the right attitude. This basically does not really lead to the increase in the welfare in this world itself. So if a society has to attain social, economic, and cultural progress and prosperity in an ethical manner, then this world has to be divinized. If they won't divinize it, then they will either exploit it, or they will just reject it. So instead of considering the beautiful images in this world, beautiful music, beautiful traditions, to be the distraction from the attainment of the Supreme Lord, what we actually have to do is to divinize them. All the societies which divinize these things are the ones where these things then sprout out, and they prosper. And when these things prosper, then the society in itself also prospers. So instead of saying that, we only bow down to the Lord and nothing else, what one has to do is to see the glory of Lord in everything which is present over here, and then bow down to that glory as an fraction of the Supreme Lord. If one is able to see the glory of Lord in everything over here, then basically they will value all of these things, and they will work towards developing this and increasing it. And when you increase that, that is when prosperity comes. And we are living in this world, so we are experiencing this world over here. This is the reality that we are experiencing right now. The reality is unfolding right now, in the now and here. So the Lord is not out there somewhere on the seventh sky, sitting over there and sending instructions from there and not really coming down. The Lord is present everywhere in everything over here. That is how you have to look at this world. If you can look at this world like this, then only you will have the right mindset to go out there in this world and create as much goodwill, as much wellness as possible for everyone out there. So that was the message of this shlok. And actually, this chapter in itself is about focusing on seeing the divinity of the Lord everywhere in this world. So I hope that I have explained this shlok and also this chapter well to you. And in the next video, I will going to be providing you the summary of this chapter. So with that, I'll close this video. I will see you in the next video. Take care.